Stop me if you've heard this before. There are hundreds of ways to make thousands of dollars in real estate investing. That is both a good thing and a horrible thing. If you're in the business as long as Brian and I are, you can use it as a strength. But unfortunately, Brian and I see it every day where it is actually a detriment. So Brian and I are going to talk about how in the heck do we stay focused or recommend others stay focused in an environment where you can literally go lots of different directions. Brian, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing well. Real estate investing offers lots of ways to do lots of things. And unfortunately, a lot of the people that get excited can't be focused or won't be focused or whatever the right word is. Because I don't know if it's squirrels or butterflies or shiny pennies or whatever it is. They are just all over the board. How do you help with that?
You know, I say this, and it's normally not the most popular topic, but the reality is you gotta first get clear on your goals because as much as I agree with starting with your buy box, right? I think even before you develop your buy box, you got to understand what's the outcome that you desire, right? And then you reverse engineer that by using that buy box to then go get you that outcome. And so, it's not the sexy thing that everybody wants to hear, but the truth is you have to first figure out what do you want to achieve financially in real estate investing, right? Is it more active income? Are you looking for large chunks of money that maybe can, give you that discretionary spending or the additional funds to go and pivot and invest in other investments? Are you looking to retire yourself from work? And so you need to look at more of a supplemental income, a residual reoccurring income that can help you to free you from that environment. And I think once determine what that is, then it makes it that much easier to pick a vehicle and stay focused on it.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things that I see people. I call it a vibration. Like when I'm talking to somebody and I can sense that they're vibrating with excitement, I
Mm-hmm.
pull back. I'm like, whoa, you're not laser focused, you're just excited. And that's an energy that can be dangerous.
For
Um,
sure.
I do think there's kind of a couple of things. The first one, we'll just go here because you did. You either need chunk money or you need little drips of cash flow, right? Because maybe you have a high W-2 or, you and your wife work or whatever it is, and you're just looking to place bets like Monopoly, and those bets are going to pay off in a decade and you're okay. Or you're coming to this going, hey, I need an extra 10 grand or 12 grand or something because I'm just behind or whatever it is. And you're right. If based on that decision alone, one thing works, one thing doesn't. I think that's very well said.
Appreciate that. And even to go a step further for those, I mean, obviously people that follow your channel follow it more often than not with the intent to go out and buy rental property.
Sure.
So one says, okay, well, how do I apply that to even the rentals I look at? Well, if the birth strategy is something that you're trying to accomplish, then you need to go into markets that have high equity that that birth strategy will be successful if you were to execute, right? And I've heard you talk many times, Mike, as I'm also a fan of using HELOCs, home equity lines of credit. Well, in order to do that and make sure that you don't get caught in the wrong deal, because either one, you got to create an arbitrage between the points that you're paying on that line of credit versus the return on investment you're getting from that investment to make sure that the investment is carrying the cost of that HELOC. Or the other thing is you put it into deals where 6 months from now, you get past a seasoning requirement that you can do a cash out refinance, extract that capital back out and pay it back. So even with the type of cash flow properties that you buy, depending on the origin of capital and what your cap stack looks like, and even what your desired goal may be, that would even help you to kind of narrow down on the type of properties in your buy box that you should be looking at to help achieve that goal.
Yeah, no question. One of the things that's always rubbed me the wrong way, and this is true all the way back to Carlton Sheets and stuff shown on the TV. That's how old I am. Was a lot of charlatans or gurus really lean into the idea of no money down. Now,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, we both have done no money down deals. We know it's possible, but I think there is a general almost ill intent trying to get people excited about doing real estate with no money down. And it's an advanced strategy, right? You do need some money, whether that's, it may not be your money, but someone's money. And I really,
Can you say that one more time, Mike, please, for the viewers?
you need some money. It may not be your money, but it needs to be somebody's money. And I think there's too many people that, are coming to real estate because they think it's their last gasp and they don't have the scratch or the capital to do anything, but they keep hearing these no money down, and just give me $5,000 to come to my weekend, or give me dude, when you tell somebody to charge 10 grand, their last 10 grand on their credit card, there's a special place in hell for you, right? That's not okay. But I see so many people doing it. I don't know why people consistently fall for that nonsense.
Yeah, well, they consistently fall for it because they don't know any better, right? They don't follow one rental at a time, right? They're not coming over to my channel where people are giving you the real upfront every single day on what's going on. And because ignorance is expensive, they continue to pay the price of ignorance,
Ignorance
and
is
the truth is
expensive. I
that
love
ignorance
that.
is extremely expensive, man. And so the more that you can be properly informed, the less you're inclined to make those poor decisions, or at least you can make an informed one, right? Okay, so say if I'm in a situation where I got to figure out something to do, I got my last 10 grand, it's not going to help me that much to hoard the cash. But if I can put it in an environment where I can now get this specialized knowledge to go out and do maybe a subject to deal, or to go wholesale my first deal without needing any capital, or to go and develop the skill set to go use other people's money and do my first deal. Like in that instance, to me, I'm putting that money in play, right? But I also bet on myself enough to know that when I get the information, I'm going to be bold enough to actually go out and apply it. For those that think that it's some magic transaction where I'm gonna spend this 10 grand and all of a sudden my problem's gonna go away. No, you just got more problems now, right? Because now you don't have the money or the knowledge or the ability to go out and execute.
Yeah. One of the reasons I harp on the buy box is because it's frankly, the most power of the buy box is not the buy box itself. It's permission to look at nothing else.
Yes, sir.
And that's where I think most people get it wrong, right? You have a whiteboard behind you. That whiteboard is real estate investing. The whole surface behind you, the whiteboard, is the real estate market, different ways, different markets, all of that. No one, Brian and myself included, could become experts in all of that in any reasonable amount of time. But if you go to the whiteboard and you take out a marker and you put a dot, we are already expert on that dot. And I would argue we probably have 5, 6, 10 dots. Go focus on the dot, because that's where, if you want to get other people's money, you need to be expert on the dot and communicate why you are good at that.
For
right?
sure.
Ignorance is expensive. But if you become the expert in 3 and 4 bedroom, 2-bath homes in this zip code that do this thing, and you can articulate that and then say why this deal has the margin to be a burr, a successful burn. You've got the team lined up with the before and afters. You might be able to raise some capital. It's just, people they think the buy box is magic. It's magic because it tells you what not to focus on.
For sure. For sure. And I'll just say this, 24 months ago ish, I said, all I'm buying is multifamily, right? Do you know what I bought over the last 24 months, Mike? Take a wild guess.
I mean, number of units, or what do you mean, like properties, or what?
I bought nothing but multifamily.
Shocking.
Imagine,
shocking.
right?
That was your buy box.
And it's not because single family just totally went away, right? As a matter of fact, I get more single family than I know what to look at. And what I do now is I have one of my coaches on my team. I have him analyze the deals. If they're viable, we'll put them out to our network, right? Our students in our program. But I know what my appetite is, because I got my goal. I said, this is what I'm doing. And that's all I've been doing for 24 months.
Shocking. You declare buy. Because again, once you get focused, it's amazing when you tell people your deal flow goes up. The quality of your deal flow goes up. You just never know where that one phone conversation or one email, it's like, oh, I know Brian's looking for this. I just heard so-and-so might be selling. Let's connect the dots.
100%, man.
It's
100%.
amazing.
But a confused buyer never buys. And so if your messaging to even your network is confusing, then nobody thinks of you inherently as that person when the thing comes up.
Yeah. You know, the worst phrase, I don't hear it so much anymore because I've harped on it for years, but here's the worst phrase I hear from new investors. I just want a deal. What? What can I do with that, Brian? I just want a deal. What? That hurts my head when I hear that.
Ask them how it's going.
Yeah, exactly. How's that feel for you?
Got to get clear on that buy box. If you can tell somebody the specificity of what your buy box is,
Yes.
now you can get a deal. Now you can get a deal. When that comes up, somebody thinks of you because you gave them the specificity of what that looks like.
I tell new investors all the time. I would put again, you have a Gmail account or Yahoo account or whatever. Your closing sentence or tag needs to be your buy box. It should be on every email. You just never know.
That's a great idea, actually, Mike. I love that.
That's like one thing you should all be doing is closing with what is your buy box. You just never know where that will come from. Any closing thoughts on this, Brian? Because we could riff on this for a long time.
Yeah, and I think it's one worth ripping on. Because so many people are out there mistaking all of this activity for productivity, and until you get a narrow focus, you're not winning the game. You're fooling yourself every day, and you may be convincing others around you that you're doing something, but you're not.
No, you're busy but going nowhere.
That's right.
Yeah. Folks, if you really want to get after this, you need to get focused. You need to stay consistent 20 minutes a day in your buy box. Brian, how can people find you? Because again, you're putting the truth out there.
Yes, sir. Brian Adamson Real Estate on YouTube, and then Brian Adamson Official on Instagram.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.